What if two stories teach similar lessons, but one is meant to be read quietly and the other is meant to be performed out loud? Hello, students, and welcome to our interactive classroom workshop. Today, we're going to crack a really fascinating mystery about how genre, the specific category of a story, completely changes the way we experience it. In this Smart Path Academy English Explainer, we're jumping right into a deep dive genre study of two fantastic selections, the Carp and the Hermit Thrush. I am so excited to guide you through this today. We're going to act as expert text investigators, looking at how authors build their stories using totally different blueprints. And, more importantly, how we can use those same exact blueprints to become stronger readers and way better writers. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our lesson roadmap for today. 1. Legend versus drama. 2. The Carp and the Hermit Thrush. 3. Vocabulary and spellings. 4. Possessive pronouns. And 5. Opinion essay writing. Section 1. Legend versus drama. Let's look at the structural differences. So the absolutely crucial difference here really comes down to structure. Think about a legend. It's meant to be read. It uses narrative prose, which really just means the author is writing in complete sentences organized into paragraphs. Legends usually tie into history, they throw in a bit of exaggeration, and they focus heavily on heroes. It's the kind of story passed down over generations. Now, compare that to a drama. A drama isn't just meant to be read quietly in your room. It is literally built to be performed on a stage by actors. So instead of paragraphs, a drama is structured using acts and scenes. It uses character tags to tell us exactly who is speaking, and the story moves forward entirely through dialogue. Imagine you're an actor holding a script. You need instructions, right? Well, this brilliantly illustrates how that works. Step 1. You check the act and scene headers so you know exactly where and when you are in the plot. Step 2. You look for character tags, usually a name in bold or capital letters, so you know when it's your turn to speak. Step 3 is the secret sauce. Bracketed stage directions. These instructions tell the actors exactly how to move, how to act, or how to deliver their lines. And finally, Step 4, the spoken dialogue itself. Because there are no paragraph descriptions, the dialogue literally has to do all the heavy lifting to tell the story. Section 2, the Carp and the Hermit Thrush. Let's dig into character and theme. Let's investigate Rosetsu from our legend, the Carp. Our big focus question is, what kind of person is Rosetsu, and how do we actually know? Well, his core trait is absolute determination and perseverance, meaning he keeps going even when things get incredibly hard. But we need text evidence to prove it. The text tells us he keeps practicing his painting even when others criticize him. And check out this specific detail. He's literally using a twig to paint on tree bark. That proves just how conscientious, creative, and dedicated he really is. It's a fantastic social-emotional learning focus, showing real confidence and patience when facing challenges. Now, synthesis is just a fancy academic word that means combining information from different texts to build a new understanding. Even though the Carp, our legend, and the Hermit Thrush, our drama, are totally different genres, they actually share the exact same central message. They both teach themes of perseverance, respect for other people's talents, and character growth. But here's the catch. Here is how they differ. The Carp delivers its message through chronological events and beautiful paragraph descriptions. Meanwhile, the Hermit Thrush delivers that exact same message through scripted dialogue and character actions on a stage. So it's completely different structures, but the same powerful lesson. Section 3. Vocabulary and spellings. Time to master some tricky words. Let's look at our first vocabulary word, quell, Q-U-E-L-L. To quell means to calm or stop something. Think about a classroom that gets just a little too loud during a really fun activity. A great teacher has to gently quell the noise so everyone can focus again. Or, in a story, a character might have to quell their own fears before facing a massive challenge. Our next word is tactics. Tactics are basically just plans or strategies used to hit a specific goal. Whenever you play a sport or maybe a board game, you use tactics to try and win, right? Well, in literature, characters use different tactics to overcome the challenges in the plot. Rosetsu's tactic to become a great painter was to practice constantly, even if all he had was a twig and some tree bark. Now, what's wonderfully weird about the English language is that it borrows words and sounds from all over the world, which means we really have to pay extra close attention to unusual spellings. Take a look at the silent letters examples. Words like league, debt, and vague have letters in them that are completely silent. Or the unexpected vowels. The word jeopardy sounds like it should just have an E, but it's spelled E-O. And my absolute favorites are the borrowed spellings. Words like yacht, Y-A-C-H-D, or Q, Q-U-E-U-E, where you practically just say the first letter and ignore the rest. You've got to keep a sharp eye out for these when you're reading. Section 4, Possessive Pronouns. Let's talk about showing ownership. So possessive pronouns show ownership, and they're a great tool because they stop us from sounding like robots, repeating the exact same nouns over and over again. Notice how some possessive pronouns are used right before a noun, like my, our, or your. For example, this is my book. But others are strong enough to stand entirely alone at the end of a sentence, like mine, ours, or yours. The book is mine. Grasping this slight difference is going to make your sentence variety so much stronger and just a lot more natural.
Section 5, Opinion Essay Writing. Let's build a persuasive essay.
I always like to think of a great essay as a perfect sandwich. The introduction and the conclusion are the bread that holds all your delicious text evidence together. Step 1 is your strong introduction. Now, you don't just shout your opinion immediately. You start broadly with the topic, you narrow your focus down to the specific story, and then you clearly state your opinion. Step 2 is your strong conclusion. This is where you remind the reader of your opinion by restating it in a fresh way, connect it back to the big picture topic, and leave the reader with a final lingering thought to chew on. What an incredible workshop we've had today. Let's lock in everything we've learned with a quick final 3 takeaway review. Number 1, genre changes everything. Whether a story is a legend meant to be read in paragraphs or a drama structured with stage directions to be performed, the format totally dictates how the story is told. Number 2, we discover a story's theme, its central message, by hunting for text evidence in character actions, exactly like Rosetsu persevering with his twig and bark. And number 3, mastering those unusual spellings and possessive pronouns gives you a serious tactical advantage to make your own essay writing undeniable. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you have this incredibly powerful storyteller's toolkit, how are you going to use these structural secrets to make your own writing unforgettable? Subscribe to Smart Path Academy English for more Grade 5 English lessons.